Hello, Paladin here. Welcome to my gaming channel. Those of you from my Star Wars channel, you'll already know a lot about me, and you'll already know about most of this if you've been following along with my post about how I wanted to try out some other games other than Star Wars games. So for the rest of you, welcome aboard. A couple things about my channel. I won't be going over anything LucasArts related or anything Nintendo related. They both can't figure out legally anything, it seems like, about YouTube. So, for all intents and purposes, this channel's going to be ignoring them. Also, there won't be any console stuff because I can't afford the hardware. This channel will be primarily indie stuff, as well as some free-to-play stuff, but I'm not picking out specific free-to-play stuff on purpose. That's just a coincidence. I'm only playing good games that I like and that I approve of, and games that I would actually be playing anyway. So that's it. Also, you'll probably hear me talking to my cats from time to time. They like to walk up and be a part of the channel. So let's get right into it. I'm going to try to explain a little bit about the game, a little bit about the developer, and any release dates that I know of. So the first one, yep, there's my first cat. The first one is Shadowrun by Harebrained Schemes. These are the folks that most of these folks did Shadowrun for the Genesis and Super Nintendo, as well as the music. Shadowrun's actually an engine. The first game was a scenario called Dead Man's Switch. This one's going to be a scenario called Dragonfall. It's the same engine, they're just releasing new scenarios. There's also, well, and they release new art sets and stuff. There's also a small but dedicated volunteer team that makes fan-made scenarios for this. So this is a strategy RPG and also a point-and-click adventure. So you're like doing a point-and-click adventure, and all of a sudden, boom, turns into a strategy RPG. Very, very fun game. Shadowrun returns. The Dead Man's Switch scenario is already out. I'm playing it right now. Dragonfall, as you can see, is coming out on 2/27, and I'll be covering that as well. And then in between other games, I'll be covering the fan-made maps. So moving on. Dead State, made by Double Bear, is also a strategy RPG like Shadowrun, but with a lot of differences. Shadowrun's set in a cyberpunk universe. This is set in a post-apocalyptic zombie universe. You are a team of strangers held out in school, and you got to go out and forage for resources. You're like, oh, that sounds like every other game. Well, this game has heavy behavior elements, actually real legitimate behavior elements. So I'm not going to bash on State of Decay, but it's not really anchored in any kind of realistic how people would behave, and that frustrated a lot of people. Brian who leads this team, really knows what he's doing, and so there will be a lot of actual, real, legitimate behavioral based situations. And he always talks about this is a survival game that just happens to have zombies. So resource management and foraging, exploring, and trying to figure out how to manage your team. So let's move on here. Rebuild Gangs of Deadville, and these are in no particular order, but you'll sort of see how they weave together. Gangs of Deadville by Sarah Northway. She's also a very seasoned developer, if you will. She's already created 2 rebuilds. This is actually her 3rd rebuild, where it's she calls it like SimCity meets zombie apocalypse or whatever. Basically, you have to expand out. So in Dead State, it's kind of on a micro level. This is the same situation, but on a macro level, with a lot of SimCity elements. You still have to say like who stays, who goes, who might die, who might come back, with very real consequences, just like Dead State. So I'm really excited to play this one. I could pre-order and play the alpha now. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more time. I'm going to finish Shadowrun, see Dead Man Switch, see how close I am to either the Dead State beta demo or the Shadowrun Dragonfall Berlin expansion. If there's still time between those, I'm going to go ahead and sign up for this alpha, or is it alpha or beta? I'm not sure. And I'll get in. Oh yeah, alpha. Although it might be beta by now. It's been an alpha for a while. We'll see. Apparently, but the alpha is working just fine. So it's a very stable build. So I'm going to check that out, provided I have time between what's going on with Shadowrun and whenever Dead State comes out. So, moving on. Oh yeah. Oops. Okay. Marvel Heroes. Their site's being funny. Because I'm on the forum. That's why it looked weird. Their site's not looking very flashy right now. This is Marvel Heroes. A game that's very hard to follow because they jump around all the time and release new heroes out of nowhere. But Marvel Heroes also sort of a, if you want to think about it in a way, kind of a futuristic, not really post-apocalyptic, but it can get post-apocalyptic very, very fast depending on where you're at and what you're doing. This game is basically Diablo with Marvel characters. There are kind of group MMO type areas where you'll have a bunch of Cyclopses running around or whatever, blasting things, and Daredevils and Jean Greys and Spider-Mans. And then there will be smaller group areas where it's a 4-man, and then story areas. So you can play with up to 4 people in a group, and there's actually operation areas and PvP areas, the whole 9 yards. But it's just basically Diablo with Marvel characters. They seem to be adding a new person every 2 or 3 weeks, and they do them kind of in clumps. So they'll add 4, 5, 6 new characters, and then they'll take a little bit of a break and tweak and refine and balance. So I really, really like this game. Free to play. So check it out, marvelheroes.com. Hopefully your system can handle it. But I'll be playing. This game's alive and launched, and it's been launched for several months. So I'm going to be playing this more so as kind of filler, which is funny because that's what I do anyway. I just play this as filler. Because if you play this too much at once, you run out of content and characters, and you kind of burn it out a little bit. So this is fun for like a weekend when nothing else sounds fun. This is very fun. Okay, moving on. Dex. Dex is another cyberpunk, just like Shadowrun. The only difference is this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up RPG cyberpunk game. I don't know when this one's coming out, but I'm going to definitely be covering this one as soon as it does. This is a very, very awesome looking game. I love side-scrollers, I love platformers, I love beat-em-ups, and I love cyberpunk, and I love RPG. So they're like, let's just take all those things and put them together, and it's going to be awesome. So I'll be playing that as soon as it comes out. Rimworld, this is in kind of an alpha E, beta E stage right now. If you're familiar with that prison builder game, they're very, very, very similar, but also very different. Whereas that prison game seems like it takes hours to get anything even remotely started based on the videos I've watched. Once you roll a couple of characters, you're basically just immediately thrust into it. This is a sci-fi colony sim. Kind of, again, the same thing. Sort of post-apocalyptic, kind of a future-y situation. A lot of survival elements. So you can see the trend now. A lot of these have survival elements. A lot of them have futuristic or cyberpunk elements or zombie apocalypse elements. Lots of survival and lots of strategy. So, except the object of this game, unless you're in builder mode, is to die. So it's literally like you just play until you die and then you start over again. That's it. It's not like SimCity where you're gonna just live forever. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. And that's what you're supposed to do. It's like playing SimCity, and if you run out of money, you shut the game off and start over. That's kind of like what this would be, except you get killed by marauders that land and try to take your crap. Shantae. I love Shantae. I play it on my DS still. Very, very, very successful Kickstarter program. I'll be playing this whenever it comes out. I have no idea. Way Forward. Everybody should know Way Forward by now. They've made so many successful games. I can't even list them all. Yeah, it's going to be on Steam, so I'll be able to play this. You guys will watch me play Shantae. I know this is a little kind of offbeat. There really isn't any survival or post-apocalyptic stuff. It's just Shantae is just a damn good franchise. It's sort of like kind of like Kirby, maybe in a way, because of how she kind of morphs and changes, or maybe sort of like Wario. I don't know. It's just funny and humorous and cute and great and bright. And plus Way Forward just makes amazing, amazing games. So, I'm not sure when this is coming out, but I'll definitely be playing Shantae. Dyscourse. So, if you're kind of following the trend, this is more kind of like choose your own adventure. A little bit like Shadowrun, Dead State, and Rebuild, where you're surviving and you have a team, and their survival rests on the choices that you make. This game has a very good team behind it. You may have never heard of Alchemy Labs, but you will have heard of the people on the team. Very experienced. I don't know what I'll say. The very experienced veterans, sort of, in a way. I mean, as much of a veteran as you can be, working on a couple of games. Working on a couple of really high-end games, so I'm stuck on an island trying to survive. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'll definitely be playing it. This is Stasis. It has a little more kind of a sci-fi point-and-click adventure, except without the real-time strategy elements. They touted this as basically like a AAA title, but in sci-fi, which there aren't very many of. It shoot, what was I gonna say? Isometric view. That's right. The camera is isometric. The other thing is the alpha demo is available now, but I have no idea when retail is really going to come out. I thought about playing the alpha, and I watched about 10 minutes of video, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin it. I think this will be fun just playing absolutely blind. Even though I'm not playing Shadowrun blind, sometimes it feels like, because my memory plays tricks on me. So I think I want to just wait for this one to hit retail. It's supposed to be later this year. All these Dyscourse, Shantae, I'll be playing Rimworld sooner. I'll be playing Rebuild sooner. But all these games will be coming out this year, and several of these will be coming out within a month, actually. At least I'll be able to play about 4 of these within a month, whether they're alpha, beta, demo builds, or retail. So I'm really excited for Stasis. Point and click survival, not survival, but point and click sci-fi horror. Paradise Lost. What do I say about this game? More sci-fi, kind of a space station they capture this little plant monster, and he's a happy little plant monster living in his glass tube, and then just the crap hits the fan, and he's got to escape and try to get out. And he can't really attack. He's very defensive, and has to just kind of creep around and try to get out. This is coming out sometime this year. There's no alpha or beta yet that they're letting out, but there's definitely plenty of gameplay posted, so I'm really excited about this guy. You are not the hero. This is an action RPG, or action platform RPG, yeah, because there's a lot of jumping around. Your character doesn't really attack, because they're an NPC. And tired of getting crapped on by by the heroes running through the town, one of the NPCs finally decides to do something about it. And instead of that just being a platform for, no, you're actually just the hero, and they actually kind of have it pulled back, so you're actually handicapped to a certain extent. So I think in that regard it'll be a lot of fun. Really excited about You're Not the Hero. Sometime this year, I'm not sure when. I actually think this is still very, very, yeah, like I said, pre-alpha. I think this is still very, very early on. Hopefully this year. Last but not least, everybody knows this bad boy. If not, then I'm sorry. Mighty Number 9. This is the spiritual successor to Mega Man. If anyone's been following video game news, Capcom is doing miserable for a lot of reasons, and one of them is because they pretty much canned the Mega Man franchise. So, very, very big mistake. They drove Resident Evil into the ground. They wiped Mega Man out, and Ultimate Street Fighter 4 is still going to come out, but nobody really knows when. And they're saying now there isn't going to be any new information about it until March. So what do? Well, Keiji Inafune started up his own company and decided to keep it going. Basically changed the name, changed the artwork, and he's making a brand new game, Mighty Number 9. This one might actually not come out this year, but I'm sincerely hoping that it does. I know this one's still in pre-alpha also, but I mean, everybody knows what Mega Man is. Kind of post-apocalyptic sci-fi stuff also, so you can see the trend. You can see the trend, you kind of see what I'm into. Let's see, how many games are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 games there. Those are the games I'm going to be playing through this year. You can suggest more, but chances are they're either way over covered already, or they're just not games I'd be into. Very much sci-fi, survival, behavior based games. Strategy. So thanks for watching. I'm going to shut this off, and I hope you will like, subscribe, stick around, and tell everybody about it. And if you have any ideas, suggestions, if you can help me out with the channel at all, go for it. Just let me know. Just let me know. I will take all the help I can get, and just, that would be cool. That'd be great. I hope you guys will stick around and support me and support these great games, and I'll throw all the links down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.